Ayurveda is, in all, Ayurveda is divided into two. The only one medical science who treat healthy people is Ayurveda. Because Ayurveda has good promotive section. So it is a very big section. There are separate department in Ayurveda Institute for that, separate professors, that they are looking all these part of promotive, how the preventive. In modern medicine, preventive is very less, usually looking for the vaccination like that. In Ayurveda, it is very vast. It is a very big. So, in ancient science, Ayurveda has 8 different branches in ancient. Now it is more. There are so many specializations in Ayurveda, because Ayurveda, that is the first one is the therapy, that is the internal medicine. That is, Ayurveda says the therapy is the treatment of the Agni, or the metabolism, fire. Yeah, how to correct the metabolism is the internal medicine. That is gynecology and pediatrics. It's same. This one. This is the internal medicine. This is the pediatry. Bala, why I look about the pediatry in Ayurveda? Yesterday we met a very big pediatrician in your institute. Yeah. So in Ayurveda, the pediatry is coming from the disease, the health of the women, the mother. So gynecology is the also described in how to get a good progeny. So pediatry and gynecology is together. Gynecology and obstetrics and accoucheur gynecology is described in Ayurveda with pediatry. So even before that, gynecology and obstetrics, there are a lot of description about the health of the women. So women health gives big importance in Ayurveda. That is the second one. And the third one is the psychiatry. Psychiatric diseases is described the child psychiatric disorder, and the in adult, all the adult psychiatric disorders are separately described in Ayurveda. It is known as Manoroga treatment. There are separate hospitals, Ayurvedic hospitals for psychiatric diseases, and it gives good result without antidepressant, neuroleptics, etc. And there is the disease of Shalakya, or the head and neck diseases, because all the organs above the neck is in one, described in one. That is the ENT, eye, nose and throat. Yeah, is the ENT, lower. You are also lower in, yes? Otolaryngology, otorhinolaryngology. Yeah. So otorhinolaryngology, dentist, stomatology, and the otologist, maybe surdologist, everything is and ophthalmologist. These 3 are in one in ancient Ayurveda. Now there are separate specialty in Ayurveda, and the surgery in Ayurveda was very much described. There are so many aseptic and antiseptic lotions before surgery. There are some special juices for intended for the anesthesia, and all the surgical dostup, yeah, all the surgical how to do the surgery, everything is in Ayurveda, and there are more than 300 surgical instruments are described and has the description of the surgical instruments. All the how in Ayurveda written how to do the caesarean section, how to remove the calculi from the kidneys, gallbladder, how to do the surgery to the perforation of the intestine. All the surgical things, and even the in Russian I can say razrez dastup, is just like modern medicine, nothing changing. And Ayurveda gives you, I can say, there are 107 very important points, and these points should be avoided during this surgery. Most of the, if it is not emergency surgery. So, and but you see in modern medicine the aseptica and antiseptica is very good now. Now Ayurvedic surgery is vanished. Now in Ayurveda there are so many separate surgeries. We are doing some minor surgeries for fistula in ano, for hemorrhoids. There are special threads for that by the herbal threads. We are using to these surgeries. It is very popular, and we are doing without any recurrences, usually Ayurvedic surgery. And all the big surgeries and any transplantation, everything is now, because in modern medicine the surgery is in good place, and in therapy has so many problems to treat patients. Then the toxicology. Toxicology describes the difficult toxin by the snakes, because India is a place of snake too, because it's a tropical country. Snake bite, you see the scorpion bite, and other toxic, very lethal toxin. How to before finding the antidotes, there was no things to antidote, means anti-venom, no treatment in modern medicine for. But even now, if you see, if we are working in a Ayurveda snake bite department, so many patients are coming. If lethal bite, for example, for a cobra, it is 3 milligram. 3 ml, sorry, 3 ml venom is injected. It is lethal. Any anti-venom is not helping him. If it is not, but most of the snakes are very, very kind. They are not putting the lethal, very rarely they are putting the lethal dose to the people. Then they are curing. So, in such cases, Ayurveda can cure. And in some, even give some antivenom. It can harm some organs like kidney. And it is some of the, for example, the viper has which affect the kidney usually, because it's renal toxin. And the cobra has the neurotoxin, is just first from the central brain nervous system. So if the antivenom gives, even there are some problems, and usually in modern medicine, after that they are coming to Ayurveda. And it is not a thing of just bite, but it's a very important in modern time also, because of the ecological problem. Because toxicology also deal with so many internal food, very gradual poisoning, poisoning with the metals. So all the things are described in this toxicology, not only the bite, not only the acute condition, the chronic conditions also, because it is very actual now for the toxicology, and because in every city has ecological catastrophe. For example, Delhi is very polluted. They have 10 times. You have good ecological condition in Europe, but in India, China, it is very catastrophic. So there are so many treatment also described for that. It is not geriatrics actually. It is in Ayurveda, it is known as Rasayana. We just written as geriatrics to translate it. Because it is the asset of Ayurveda, because it treats, it is the age medicine, anti-age medicine. Because it describes how to stay young in metabolic, that is, everything is connected, of course, our metabolic function, everything, and according to your constitution, how to stay young. It is the subject of the geriatrics. It is not treating the old people. Of course, it is also treating the older people. So many prescriptions in Ayurveda for staying young and not to get ill. If we are not susceptible to illness, we are always staying young. So geriatrics, there are so many techniques also prescribed for that. It is a very big branch of Ayurveda, and it should be make so many research. I think it is a subject of research with modern doctors, modern pharmacologists, geneticians, and it is a very vast thing. And reproductive medicine, in reproductive medicine there are a lot of things. It's very interesting for most of the patients. For me, they are coming to improve their sexual functions. There are so many preparations, techniques is described in reproductive medicine how to improve the male sexual function, female sexual function, how to remove from the frigidity. These things is described very well. And more or less that it is the branch of Ayurveda for getting good generation. Good generation means before the marriage, most of the couples in old age came to clean their body to get good offspring. So it is a big branch in Ayurveda. It is not only the just medicines, but there are so many advices and so many treatments, internal and panchakarma therapies. Panchakarma, we come to that. That is the detoxification therapies to improve the quality of sperm and ovum, the thickness of the uterus. This is a very big problem in modern age. I think in Varna is very less stressed than Moscow. Moscow is a big city, and so many patients coming to me for the reproductive function, mainly female and male infertility. We can come to some of these. I prepared for you some of my experience with laboratory findings. So, live the healthy way. In Ayurveda is a way of life. It is starting with when you want to get up in the morning. Ayurveda says it is Brahma Muhurta. It is a special time. If you wake up in that time, you get good mood and it will improve your life. But you should sleep early for that because it is about 1.5 hours before the sunrise. I know in Europe and Russia it is very difficult because in winter very less. Very and in summer it is very long. In summer you have sunrise at 5 o'clock maybe, 5 o'clock? So it is difficult, but you can correct it maybe if you come early, you get up and there are so many diseases also says about the how to, so most of the people suppresses their natural urges, also makes so many diseases. Yeah. So that is, and of course brushing the teeth, then getting a massage, self massage yourself, and physical exercise, daily bath. This is the usual. When you get up, brush the teeth, make exercises, make a oily massage, self massage yourself, and some meditation you can do. These are the, if you starting your life like this, you feel better. Then that is the, we are starting. Yeah, Ayurveda says not only about the disease and diagnosis, it is saying about the how to, for each constitution, when they get up, brush the teeth. Yeah, so dinacharya means the daily regimen. And then what to eat. Ayurveda says in which season better, which one is better to eat, and where to eat, how to eat, and with whom to eat. All these things are, and when to eat. These things are describing in Ayurveda. It is a very different part. We have 2 or 3 lectures only for this dietetics. Very important, because we are we have seasonal regimens. In the in separate season, which food should be taken, and we are avoiding one. We are giving advice to remove from one season to other seasons to the seasonal junctions. Now is the seasonal junction of the spring. Yeah, in when the that we can come. So there are 6 stages. Also, everything is according to Ayurveda is 5 elements. Which element is Which element is predominant? All the Ayurvedic dietetics and pharmacology is also depend upon these 6 stages with these elements. Baudic constitution composition means the element composition. This earth and water forms sweet, earth and fire forms sour, water and fire forms salty, fire and air forms pungent or spicy, and earth and air forms the astringent, air and ether forms the bitter taste. This kapha will be increased by sweet, kapha will be increased by the sour, kapha will be increased by the salty. So we are advising to avoid kapha people's this food and ask them to take more such food, because it is reducing the kapha. Spicy, astringent and bitter. And astringent in Russian, it is, in Russian it is vyazhushi, and I don't know in your language. Vyazhushi means astringent taste. Yeah? So these things reduces kapha. And you see the other things, pitta increases by the, where there is fire, it will increases by pitta. Sour, salty and pungent increases pitta. This thing increases pitta. So pitta people always treated by sweet. If they are sweet, they are very, if you it is also in psychology also. If somebody come, you have some business meeting or some meeting or to want to meet your chief, give her some chocolates, bitter, sweet chocolate. Yeah, then she or he will be happy, because pitta will reduce. Yeah, because you see, pitta reduced by astringent, bitter and sweet taste, pitta. And kapha, kapha already, and vada will increase by, where is air? This pungent increased by kapha, this also increased by astringent increase vada, this also increase vada, this also increase Vata, and this also increase Vata. So for the Vata person, you should give sweet, sour, and salty food, opposite to Kapha. These are the constitution in the food, and it is also in pharmacology we are also thinking about 20 other properties of these elements. For pharmacology it's more subtle. For the food we are like this, because in Ayurveda says food and medicine is the same. What is the difference between the food and medicine? Food we takes in big quantity and medicine in small quantity, only that difference. And this is the importance of the food taking. Food should be taken 50% of the stomach by the solid food, water 25, and free space for digestion. So this is the 6 seasons. In India it is 6 seasons, and in Europe usually 4 seasons. So you can see these 6 seasons in Europe also, because what are the main season? So autumn you have no maybe rainy season. The rainy season in our in my state is 4 months because it is tropical Kerala. So June, July, August, at least 3 months, and some and in North India it is 2 months. But in Russia, just before the autumn, there are so many rains. So it is less in Russia. I don't know how it is in Bulgaria. Maybe the same. Yesterday was today sunny. Yesterday was rainy. So you see where is the more or less falls you get. This summer, spring, and winter. 2 winters are, because this Ayurveda is started not in my state. Yeah, it is summer. It is South Indian state. We have very long summer and rainy season and less other seasons. But it is Ayurveda formed in valley of Himalayas. So in valley of Himalayas they have 2 winter. This is the early winter. This is the late winter. Early winter and late winter. And in Russia also the early winter and late winter is there. In Russia, starting winter from November, end of November to April. So they have 2. In Russia I seen all these seasons, because after the summer they have, before fall, before the autumn they have some very less, about 1 month, about 21 month for rainy season. That is the changing of weather to the autumn, and we can say it is as fall. So it is very important in Ayurveda. In some seasons some disease will arrive. Everybody knows that most of the diseases aggravates, chronic disease in spring or in autumn. Yeah, all other seasons are more or less stable. Why it is coming? Due to the changes in doshas. In spring, I written only in spring because it is also a big theme of lecture. It is a separate thing about separate lecture about seasonal regimen and daily regimen, seasonal regimen. In spring, what occurs in spring? I just tell you only one season, about only season, spring. Now in Bulgaria you have spring. Which disease can come? Maybe you have some allergies come, some outspring of the respiratory disease come, maybe the digestive problem, just the gastritis, ulcer maybe aggravates, Why it occurs? According to Ayurveda, in winter, we have good digestive fire because of the cold weather. Because cold increases our digestive fire. And we have less activity because we are not much going out in winter. In good winter, in Russia it is very actual. So what happens, just like the snow, in Russia we have a lot of snow, yeah, and it is cold, a lot of snow is coming, and with cold usually due to the digestive fire we are eat more and kapha increases, but due to the cold it is not aggravates. What need to melt melt the ice is the warm, yeah. In cold weather it is not melting, so a little bit vada increases, but kapha is not increases. Kapha is accumulating in this period, accumulating day by day, accumulating conditions for that diseases, for that infection, for the embedding the bacteria in your through the droplet infection, and it can gives a good substratum to start infections also. And in a digestive system also occurring the same problem. So so reacting for this increase of kapha, that is the kapha is increasing, and for that usually in springtime Ayurveda before spring started to change the food from sweet food to more or less spicy. We cannot say very spicy, very spicy also not good, and liquids and good also drink not sweet, astringent or bitter or little bit spicy. For example, little bit ginger, ginger drinks, some sweet drinks also, very less sweet drinks and more bitter drinks, and avoid the fish, avoid the eggs, avoid the milk products in this period. If you reduce this product or avoid this product, it will give less disease. In I think in all of the Christian countries, of course, in especially Orthodox Christian countries, there is the the fasting. It is completely Ayurvedic, because if those persons who are practicing the fasting, because they are avoiding the milk products, bread, it is also increases kapha, and the fish like that is less susceptible to disease. I find in Moscow most of my patients, those who are taking the fasting, the Orthodox fasting, Christian fasting, they are less susceptible to the diseases in spring, allergies, gastritis, because they are already avoiding by the religious motive. It is a very good thing according to Ayurveda. So in spring, gradually, when even before starting the spring, 7 days or 10 days before starting the regimen of the spring, gradually starting the spring regimen, and in spring takes more exercises, more spicy and astringent or bitter food, and less liquid food. Liquids separately drink, but you see the soups should be less. Better to take baked or steamed food on that time, not the food with soups, sauces, less in this period. And this is what is the Ayurveda focus on social life. We also connect to the social life, because Ayurveda is a big philosophy. Just I ask you, that is the aim of life, because I take a provocative question to you: why you are living? What is your aim of life? Can you answer? Somebody need good career. Somebody need to help their father, mother, parents, protect. Somebody need their children to grow. So can you tell me some of your ideas? Or somebody want to be their good doctors, be somebody want to PhD done your doctorate, yeah. What is your aim of life? Please tell me. This is Ayurveda focusing on the health. So many patients coming to me. My consultation time is about 1.5 hour, minimum 1 hour, and usually 1.5 hour. It longs. So usually we have some talks also this time. What is your life? What is your aim of life? So many things. Even some people come very rich or very top managers, were in the height of their career, but they are not still happy. Why? Because of the aim of life. This is in Ayurveda known as Purushartha. That is the realization, realizing our, or we are in Russian we are saying the Azaznanya. Self-realization. True happiness. We are saying about the true happiness. It's a philosophy. It is a philosophy, but can be applied in any country, in any person, according to Ayurveda. It is also taken, most of the Ayurvedic philosophical ground, taken from the ancient Indian philosophies known as Sankhya. It is the ancient Indian physics and Vaisheshika. There are 6 philosophical schools. Vaisheshika is more to the chemistry. So many, and Purvamimamsa, Uttaramimamsa, Vedanta. So there are philosophical schools and taken the Ayurvedic postulates which connected to the life, which always touching our life. That is one thing is open a gym is very good. So Denislav said he want to serve people, do righteous things for the people. That is known as our dharma. Dharma is a word which has no definition. It cannot be say in one word. Dharma is the morals. It is the morals of a person. It is the responsibility of a person himself to stay healthy, to stay helpful to others. This is the righteousness. Always be right. Always be righteousness. And it can be says a big, it cover a big range. Himself be healthy, helpful to others, for our parents, for our children, for our teachers, for our socium, for our nation, or to the world. Yeah, that is the dharma of a person. Then the artha, it is also very important. Denislav didn't tell about it. So he says his kama. Kama is the ambition or the desire. So these 3 words, comprise everything. I told you dharma is the righteousness. That means all our responsibility, inner self to our nation and to the world. To be legally correct, everything is here, dharma. And nobody is saying about this. Okay, you want to be desire. This is the desire, ambitions. So in most of them heard Kama Sutra. Yeah, it's also from the word Kama. It's because Kama is a big range of meaning. Kama is our desire, our immense desires, also including our, somebody says sexual desire, already including in that. But it's a big range. Here we are saying about big. It is the desire of our inner self, because somebody want to be open gym, it is a desire. I think he will definitely open his own gym, because he already put a aim for that, yeah. And this can be maybe become very rich, maybe not, maybe somebody have become a doctor of medical science, very doctorate, and become somebody want to be a Nobel laureate. All these things to here. That is our desire, ambitions, everything. And nobody changed this thing. This is artha, is the material things. That is our richness. We should be rich to help people. You can help people just like Mother Teresa. It is because Mother Teresa has her own monastery. So people come, she get food, she helped. Yeah, you can help just like Gandhi. Gandhi was not a rich person, but he has big organization behind him. That is the Indian National Congress. Yeah. So, but most of you need in daily life. We are a very simple person. Yeah, I have my 3 children, my wife, and everybody has family, mother, father, sisters, somebody. So we need and we want to dress, eat, drink. If we put dharma, artha, and kama in a harmonious way, why people are become a mafia leader? Because you want to be only this thing, money or some desires like this. Is divide of these things, and you want only this thing and only things. You have the deviation there, and you see one person. I am not saying anybody. Maybe a monastery. Yeah, they are not forgetting about their father because they have another life, they say, but maybe how to, because they have this one, only they have ingredient this one, right? Yes. Also it is not a common person, it is not good. And somebody have only so many business people in modern era. Yeah, they are maybe big tycoons, but they have no inner peace because they have enough much this, they have no time to spend themselves to their family or maybe to themselves for their health, for their happiness, because they have very much here and not here and maybe more here. So if we harmoniously, if you harmoniously correct all these things, so we get is a pyramid, should be like this from these three, is known as moksha. Moksha in according to Ayurveda is the release. We release, we will be happy. So according to most of the, I think to the Indian philosophy, the soul is in the cage. You want to go out to be embrace the biggest soul in the universal soul. Yeah, just like that we say. So the word comes from that, the liberation. So most of the Semitic religion says about the heaven. Yeah, after death you either be in the hell or in the heaven. That is why everybody is trying to be in the heaven, because after life we want to be a good life. That is why they are suffering more. And maybe in Buddha says nirvana. Nirvana is after meditation they attain a special state known as samadhi nirvana. That is also a very blissful stage. For that also maybe we want to suffer so many times. But common people like us, yeah, it is not too easy, but it is possible to think daily, who are you when you get up, and what is your, who are you and what is your do's and don'ts. And in these do's and don'ts, everything in food, to behave, to eat, yeah, everything in food, in behavior, in our we will be happy because we will improve, we will correct these all the things. Not to spend more, not to spend less is also not good. Very, yeah, is accumulating money is good, but without suffering our health. If we goes like, if we have righteousness, normal material condition, and balanced ambitions, we will get the blissful stage. According to Ayurveda, it is the good health. Not after death, in this life itself. So this is the philosophical background. Ayurveda taken from the Indian philosophies to attain their moksha or liberation or self-realization. When you are self-realized, you will be, you are happy and you have good health, you have a good mental state. And the good mental state, what we say is, it is not the mere absence of the disease, it is a social well-being. You get the good social well-being, yeah, mental and physical well-being. So this is the key of Ayurveda. I usually say, most of the patients, I usually drawing this, because I am not I cannot draw anything, just like some things, and a pyramid, and say, where are you? If they ask some questions, they can gradually correct, they can think. And if they need some help from their husband, from their son, or from the psychologist, or from the doctor, or from their friends, they can ask them to correct this triangle, and then you will get the. So there is a epic, there is not only epic in India known as Mahabharata. There is, you have the power to act only. You do not have the power to influence in the result. So you may always do your deeds. The result will come. If you maybe in your future, you will be maybe a head of your, maybe you are the head of your gym, yeah. So you want to employ somebody. So if you may give some advertisement, and first call is, how much I get? If you get this answer, don't take him, okay, thank you very much, I will not call you. And then, so because if somebody look only for the result and money, he will never work, yeah. So what is the facilities, what is the equipments there, and what is the ventilation, everything he can ask. And after that, yeah, just like in every profession is like that. That is a good word in Mahabharata. Never first desire for the your result. Do your deeds. Because Professor, here we have opened the Oriental sector, yeah. You opened it and it is working and working. If you work, gradually other things, usually they are working with good reflexotherapy, they have everything. Now they just called us. It is also a different science. So if you started do the good deeds, everything come to you. So in Ayurveda says even insects, ants should be treated with compassion and kindness, just oneself, just like us. If you see one ant, don't give food to him because he is also an insect. He has life. Don't kill him. So these are the, just like in Bible, Ayurveda says also 10 types of, says the sin, 10 sins. Yeah, these are the 10 sins always to be avoided according to Ayurveda. That is the himsa, to killing somebody, or the violence. You see, this is the ahimsa. Himsa at the killing. Ahimsa is a good instrument who practically done by Mahatma Gandhi in India, because the English army was the biggest, the world empire. World empire was the Britain. They think they can do everything in India because they have good army. They recruited very good army. They are very good equipments, everything. How Gandhi started to made some protest against them, just like people, they made protest. They beat them, shot them, but they never ran away. They suffered it, just like that. So this is a very big instrument. We think our muscle power is can win everything, but it's not like that always. And these things should be always avoided according to Ayurveda. So theft, adultery, so defamation, abuse, lying, saying utter rubbish words always. No, so in Russians we say baltat. Yes, always saying things not relevant, irrelevant things. Harm, belonging one's so others belonging, and atheism is not denial of God. In India, there are philosophies like atheism. India has a country, it has gives tolerance for atheism also. India is a Vedic country, maybe it is religious, but atheism is not the mere refusal of God. Atheism is everything, refuse everything is the atheism. I already told you what these triangles you may follow. You can get not only good personal life and professional life also, because if you do activities, you should be always in golden medium, not make harm, not make fanaticism. Yeah, extreme things you should know. You always think to balance the person's health, and if the doctor is also like that, he has the good professional life also. Not only the doctors, any profession, always to Ayurveda asks to avoid extremes. So this one more thing about Ayurveda, I already told you about that. These are in body function there are 3 doshas. These are known as mindly doshas. These are sattva, raja, tamas. Sattva is the clarity one. It is clear, a state of harmony. Rajas is the very dynamic one, just like pitta, very, yeah. And kapha is the inertia, inert one. That is the ignorance and laziness. Everything is from the tamas. Rajas is the aggression, anger, everything in this manner. And sattva is the love, compassion, kindness, from this. If one person sattva predominant, of course we need rajas also, because we want to act, we want to sleep. All these doshas prevail in us, but try to become more sattvic, more improved. So the channels of mind I already told you about the, it is a Dharaniya Vegas means in mental emotion. In Ayurveda never there is a special there are some chapters not to suppress our urges. That is the physical urges. Not to suppress. If suppress, it makes some diseases. And here, in some Vegas, we want to suppress. That is the emotional things. No, better not to come to such Vegas. Vegas means some emotions like anger, your immense desires, yeah. So anxiety, these things should be suppressed.